word has died. Hunter S. Thompson was a lot of things: a journalist, an author, a patriot, a professional troublemaker, a complex walking monument to misbehavior, who apparently took his own life with a gun last night. There were so many drugs, so much booze, so much raw talent. It was hard to tell his fiction from nonfiction. It's still hard to tell what Hunter S. Thompson was exactly.
Stole my wallet.
Two different Hollywood films tried, but the big screen in the end was too small to contain him. And yet he insisted it was never about him.
The journalist. You guys are the actors. I'm going back to my original role, back to my roots.
Of course, it was all about him and his invention, a mixture of outrage and overstatement called gonzo journalism. It reached its peak with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and on the campaign trail. Hunter Thompson was the national affairs desk at Rolling Stone, and later the inspiration for a Doonesbury character. Among his many passions, guns, all the better when fired in a bathrobe, in the snow, at his Colorado outpost, where he died last night. Hunter S. Thompson received exactly 1 vote for vice president at the 1976 Democratic Convention. He did not leave a suicide note. His son found his body. He was 67 years old. Up next, as we continue.
President Bush is visiting Europe. 3 well-known American artists passed from the scene this holiday weekend. Actress Sandra Dee died of kidney disease at a Los Angeles area hospital. She was 62. In the 1960s, Dee was the teen romance queen of Hollywood, starring in many films, including 3 with her husband, the pop singer Bobby Darin. Singer John Raitt died of pneumonia at his Los Angeles home. He was 88. Raitt, the father of singer Bonnie Raitt, starred on Broadway in the 1940s and 50s and in Hollywood musicals. Finally, writer Hunter S. Thompson was found dead at his Aspen, Colorado home, an apparent suicide at 67. His story from CBS's Bob McNamara.
Hunter Thompson could have written the owner's manual for hard living, but he was too busy pioneering so-called gonzo journalism, first-person journalism, immersing himself in his often bizarre stories.
For him, it was about kind of rampaging through society and culture and politics, mostly politics.
Thompson authored nearly a dozen books that made him even more famous than the lives and the politicians he skewered.
First time I went to a press conference with Jimmy Carter, I had to sign more autographs than Carter signed. And the Secret Service had no idea who I was. They thought I was an astronaut.
A counterculture icon of the Vietnam and Watergate eras, Thompson's affinity for alcohol and drugs and firearms saw the legend he lived in films.
You can't park your car here.
Why not?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was the first Thompson classic adapted by Hollywood. He was the model for Uncle Duke in Gary Trudeau's comic strip Doonesbury. And in trendy Aspen, where he lived, he immersed himself in local issues like opposing an airport expansion.
It's about who really runs the town and who's in charge here.
Thompson's former editors today agree he was always copied, but never duplicated.
Words like genius and original are vastly overused, and I think there are few cases when they're warranted. And I think in Hunter's case, he was definitely an original.
For all of his outrageousness, Hunter Thompson built a firewall around his personal life. And that has left even his closest friends without answers to why he would end it now. Bob McNamara, CBS News, Dallas.
Still to come on the CBS Evening News. Why do many...
Wow. He loved guns. Anyone who tried to interview Hunter Thompson quickly learned his reality was, well, different.
That's why I'm so healthy, folks. I always roll my ice in chlorophyll before I drink whiskey. All right, what were you saying?
Thompson's most famous work is the 1972 Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Terry Gilliam made it into a movie starring Johnny Depp.
My blood is too thick for Nevada. I've never been able to properly explain myself in this climate.
Hunter S. Thompson, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We don't know why. He was 67. And when we come back, recasting George Washington as an action figure, dashing enough to